Sure, we're ready. All right, so just to kick things off here, I want to welcome David Tosca on the phone, Louis Roan on the phone. We have Zach Pearson and Helen Mauch here on behalf of property owner 380 Sawmill River Road to present a concept for reuse and redevelopment of that site. And sites in the IB district, it would require amended site plan approval of the town board, as well as a special permit for that car dealership use from the planning board. So having set the stage there, I'll turn it over to the team there.
Okay, I'm just going to make a couple of just introductory remarks. Helen Mauch from Minster Mauch. Thank you for putting us on your work session. We just want to introduce the project and the project team. We will be coming back to the board and making a formal application for site plan amendment. Just a couple of quick things about the site. As Garrett said, it's in the IB district. It's 5.3 acres, so just over 5 acres. And there's an existing 59,000 square foot building on the site that was formerly used as Empire Storage. Goodwill was in there, and also Sport Time USA. The Toscas are renovating the existing building, and they're going to improve the site. They're going to move their Jeep dealership that is now in White Plains to this site. And they're excited about this property. It's well suited for the dealership use in terms of its size, the existing underutilized building, and existing vegetative buffers in the rear and side of the property.
Is Goodwill still there?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Everyone has moved out.
Vacant building.
Yeah, it's vacant.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to know before I introduce you to the property owner, and he says a few words about his company and his family, is that this is a type 2 action under SECRA. So it's exempt from SECRA because it is a reuse of a commercial building where the use is permitted under existing zoning. So Dave Tosca is on the phone. He's one of the owners, and just thought he could introduce himself and say a couple of words.
How y'all doing? Thank you for letting us come to the meeting tonight. My family's been in the car business for over 70 years, and this is our first dealership we've operated in New York, the Jeep store in White Plains, and we're looking to relocate it because where we are today is going to be towers, high-rise towers are being put in by a local developer. So we found this spot, and I think between the size of the building and the space, it will be a great facility for our Jeep store, and should be one of the premier Jeep dealerships in the Northeast. So thank you for your time tonight, and we look forward to working with you.
So Garrett, in terms of the whole review process, what are sort of the steps?
Yeah, so they're formulating a site plan, and I think they're going to walk us through the basics of that site plan in a moment. But they would file a formal application, which is underway, and we would circulate that to the county, to New York State DOT, to the various town agencies. And then once we get comments back, we would work on them to perfect that application, if you will. And then they would come before the town board for site plan approval, and the planning board for a special permit to allow the car dealership use.
Are you looking at any like green technologies for that building?
I'm gonna let Zach talk.
I'll talk about the site plan and Louis can talk about
Right.
the building. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna let them answer the question since they're the designers. So who wants to go first, Louis or?
I'll go first on the site,
Okay.
and I'll turn over to Louis.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share this. You guys can all see that. This is the existing site plan. Helen mentioned 59,000 square foot building. Asphalt over much of the site. Everything you kind of see in this flat triangle here is paved. Coming north on 9A, there's a one-way entrance in. There's a signalized entrance at the midpoint of the property. So there's an in and an out here. And then there's a one-way out on Route 9 to the north. So I'm just going to hand down what we have as a concept plan. We're working on develop this a little further. So we've had some initial discussions with staff. a few things have come out of that. One being there's an existing sidewalk along Sawmill River Road. The existing sidewalk only comes to the signalized intersection where the end is here. We did hear comments from staff. We're going to look to extend that sidewalk past our longer frontage crossover across the entrance. Extend that all the way along the property's frontage. We're also looking at, I know there's sensitivity. I've seen the board review the ShopRite project just to the south. We heard comments relative to car carrier deliveries and truck turning. So, obviously the trucks coming north on 9A, we feel we've got a one-way in and a one-way out option that works. We're currently studying the south on 9A and what that turning would look like into the site. So essentially coming this way and making the left-hand turn in and seeing if that's something we can accommodate, basically both ways to make sure that works. Real quickly, we have parking for both, parking for car storage, we have parking for customers, and then we have display as well along the frontage. With some of the grades that are on site, we are going to kind of change the on-site circulation. We're looking to, we're going to establish larger green spaces, larger islands, so there will be a decrease in impervious on the site, which is a benefit to stormwater. Currently most of this lot is paved. We're going to, due to some grading operations, we're going to have to hit certain parts of the building and hit elevations on the existing building. We're going to have to change some grades, and with that, we're going to look to develop some green space and do some additional
That
landscaping.
should help with the flooding problems in that section.
Yeah, I mean, a reduction in impervious is a reduction in runoff. So that's really it on the site. Those are the kind of things that we've heard from town staff so far that we're incorporating into our site plans. And with that, I'll turn it over to the architect if you guys don't have any other questions.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask again, like, are you using solar or geothermal, anything that's innovative?
We'll let Lou, I don't know what they're going to use on the building related item, but
So you're not going to be filling in and leveling any areas? Or is there slope?
so the entire parking lot is graded off right now.
Right.
So it all comes down to the southwest corner where the one-way entrance is in. We're gonna have to pick up some of the grades around the building. They have garage bay doors on the side of the building, right, this side. Their service entrances envisioned is coming in this southern entrance here, and then, coming out this side as well. There's one other thing I forgot to mention. The town, early on in the staff meeting with the town, there was some invasive species and some trees up in here that were in a little rough shape along the property boundary between our property and the property to the north. We are going to be able to remove those as part of this as well.
Where are residences in relation to that? I'm not remembering.
They're to the, they're
To the east, but I don't know if they
kind of southeast.
bought it.
No, it's on the other side of all these trees. South.
So here, I can share my screen to, oh yeah, I don't even think.
This is north of ShopRite.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
And it's just south of a Volkswagen.
and it's the Pecanico, the housing authority sites.
Yes.
This is.
That's the one. That's,
that would be the
Right,
one.
so this is the existing building here,
but there's a thick vegetative.
right? So there is a stream that cuts through here. We're not pushing any, the impervious boundary that's there now and the landscaping that's along this edge, we're not proposing to touch. Again, the stream sits down slope, and then you've got the Mechanical Park residence here, and then this is the ShopRite that's under construction.
What
How would you-
time? I'm sorry, go ahead, Francis.
How would you deal with the offloading of cars? Because that's always a problem with the car dealership.
Yeah, that's why we're studying bringing them onto the property, not on 9A, getting them on and then offloading them on property.
No way you can offload it on 9A. I would recommend that you just tow the car carrier if it's blocking 9A. Because that's
Right.
not acceptable.
Right, so we've, the car carrier coming north, we have that solved, there's an in and an out for that. But, the town staff has asked us to look at what the options are for the car carrier coming south and what improvements would need to happen to that existing main entrance at the signal, if any, to make the turn in and what we'd have to do to get a car carrier off of 9, given the sensitivity of traffic and getting that car off.
One issue that keeps coming up is some people from the community feel that we should be asking potential applicants, what about hiring local people for for some of the permanent jobs, and I'm wondering, are you going to be basically transferring existing employees, or will there be any job opportunities available to for residents of the community?
Yes, so to speak to that, we are gonna be relocating all our staff from the 70 Westchester property in White Plains, but this is a much larger facility than we operate today, and we do believe we will do more business, so there'll definitely be some more job opportunity, and would love to offer them to the local community.
That's good. Would you ever be open to like even having like an apprenticeship program for young people who may want to go into this this field? I'm just throwing this out.
We do like to work with a lot of the local trade schools and high school programs with young people that are looking to especially get into the technician field. And we in some of our other stores in the past, we have done apprenticeship programs. So that would be something great for us to look in with the local schools to have them work in our shops and work with our mechanics and say, obviously it's a very high demand trade right now. So it would be a great opportunity.
Either theater or community center would be like excellent. Another issue that I just had is do you have like any electric cars?
Yes, so there will be all the OEMs are obviously increasing their EV presence, and there are certain requirements that we get faced with charging station for all these new EVs that are coming out. So I think Lewis can help speak to that too, but there are requirements that Chrysler and Jeep want us to install chargers on the property.
Would the chargers be available? Say, I asked Garrett if we could come up with like a master map, listing all the electric chargers that we have around town. And I'm sort of wondering if any of these chargers would be available, say, to the general public.
I'm not sure exactly what's on the plans today. Normally it's for our cars and the customers, but we can look at what we have on the plan today. I think that's where it's going, obviously. Going forward, as they get more prevalent, these stores are gonna have more EV requirements, so.
Great.
Are the deliveries all times of the day, or are they specifically during morning hours, afternoon hours? Is there any rhyme or reason to when deliveries are made?
So we were going to include a narrative on that in our formal submission. Dave, I don't know if you have those answers for this particular store, or can just answer generally.
The majority of the deliveries are during the week, Monday through Friday, normally, but most of the part of the working day from like 7 to 4 or 5 o'clock. Sometimes they come on the weekends, but I would say the majority is Monday through Friday during normal business hours. But they sometimes go up at different times.
I don't know how if there's any amount of noise and offloading or loading cars, and if there is any, there's concern for impacts on the residences. And there is a buffer, so that's great, but I'm just inquiring about noise factor, because that is always something that is a concern.
Well, we'll address that in our formal submission, and it's great just to get your initial thoughts on this, and that's why we're here, so that we can address them right up front.
You're welcome.
Louis, do you want to just show some
Yeah.
what you have planned, because I think he's got some
Preliminary.
preliminary renderings that
Pretty
you
pictures.
wanted to share.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
So this is the plan that's being proposed. On the left-hand side is the front of the building with the showroom up front. As Zach was saying, we have a service drive going south to north, and then we have the service bays on the right-hand side of the plan here. Let me see where it is. So if you, I know you guys are all familiar with the building, but this is pretty much what it looks like today. It is a vacant building. And what we're looking to do is this is a preliminary rendering. It's a little bit outdated in that the Jeep entrance is more toward the middle where the stair is today. So if we go back to, so you can see this existing, doorway. That's basically where the doorway is going to be. It's going to be moved, adjusted a little bit, but effectively that's where it is.
So you're using basically the same building and just renovating it?
Yeah, one thing.
So what we're looking to do is keep the building footprint predominantly the same. We have a couple of little things that we're going to be adding. The stairs are going to be completely rebuilt, and the landing for those stairs are going to be expanded a bit. We will not be requiring a ramp on the outside of the building because of the regrading that we're going to need to do. We'll be able to have our ADA access straight on grade. So these doors up here, which are available to everybody, allow you access into all of the space.
And where's the parking for that? Is it adjacent?
Directly in front of the building.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was, real quick, that was one of the things that we had to struggle with. If you've seen the site slopes from one side to the other. The handicap parking, right now, there's no access, I don't think, to any part of that large building via ADA. So there the handicap parking in the northeast or the northwest corner, and there will also be a handicap bay adjacent to the service entrance along the south side of the building. So there's provisions for that.
How many cars will be at the showroom?
I'm not sure.
You mean inside the showroom?
Yeah.
I don't know if you even know that yet, Dave.
I think we're looking to get about 6 cars or a little bit more than that, each bay, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe.
Yeah, between 6 and 8 cars is what.
So this is really gonna have like a very, very minor impact on traffic. If it's only, right.
Well, they have 42 days.
Yeah, there's 6 or 8 cars in the showroom, but there are more cars in the backyard.
Would you have like any idea, in terms of the traffic, how many, just like a rough estimate, how many people say a day would be?
Yeah, we'll certainly provide that information, based on the number of parking spaces that are around this property now for what the commercial use was. I'm gonna say probably less than that with the car dealership, but that traffic is something we'll definitely dig into.
We'll circulate that to the Department of Transportation and
Like you said, it was a popular.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parking out there now, so I mean, all the parking in the east side of the lot, that's all gonna be storage parking for just cars ready to be sold, right? So
Zach, do you want to put your site plan up again?
I mean, I think that it's that piece up in the back, it's
a lot of the service is done by appointment at certain times, so the flow is staggered to a degree, which works out nice.
I haven't in the year that I've been on the board had any discussions about car dealerships. I'm just wondering, how do you gas up? Do you have to have gas on site, or do you go to the nearest have an agreement with the nearest gas station? Is that all?
Yeah, normally we have an agreement with the local, one of the closer stations in the area, and that's how it normally works, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
I saw Rhode Island area code. My daughter lives in Providence.
Yeah, we were born and raised in Rhode Island. Our main headquarters is in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's right there.
Yep,
She worked in Cranston for a while.
So we're going to, like I said, put together a formal application packet. We'll address all these questions and more and include everything that's required for the code. And we're looking to hopefully make that formal submission very soon and hopefully be on a March agenda with the town board. And we'll simultaneously submit to the planning board and get the approvals as quickly as possible so that Tosca can open to the public roughly by this time next year. March 2024. So, yeah, we're excited. If you have any other questions for us now, again, this is just the beginning. We'll appear before you and have a public hearing and all that, but just wanted to get your initial reaction.
Thank you. Hope that was enough reaction.
Yeah, I think I'm, positive about this. I think that it's, good use, it's a good rateable. Like you said, it's less traffic. It's gonna be modernizing the older, an older building. Gonna make the area look nicer, more attractive looking. I feel that if you could maybe look at, say, more green technology, because I also feel that the more we do, the more it will encourage us, make it easier to get other new businesses to do, the same thing if that's possible. I like the fact that you're expanding the sidewalk, that I think is great. So I can't think of any negatives, to be honest.
The negative will be if you ever offload on 9A, right? That is our biggest headache with car dealerships offloading on our main road. And, it uses our police resources to go out and do the enforcement, and it makes a bad name for other car dealerships.
I definitely would agree with that.
Right?
Understood.
Or they'll park in the middle between the lanes of southbound and northbound, like as if that makes it any better, right? It doesn't. So whatever you can do to figure out where is it that you're gonna do it, and you don't have more than one hauler coming at the same time, if you're not able to handle it, that would be terrific.
Understood.
All right, we hear you. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
You're right, because I'm sure that when ShopRite opens up, that neighborhood is, want to make sure that we keep their promises that it's not going to have a negative impact on their quality of life.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you think they should do an outreach to, maybe the housing authority, since it's right close by, or even the, the condos near ShopRite, and just, I could reach out to, people.
We can
just-
provide the context to you.
Are we gonna have to notice anyway?
There will be a formal notice as part of this public hearing. Yeah.
I think you need a little bit more plan to show, as opposed to, the outside of the building. And things like that,
Yeah, we're just.
You need to be able to address these no cars on
Okay,
time.
yep.
I don't know if I mentioned that before.
I'll ask Janelle to make a YouTube of this. I'll post this presentation on, on the website, and then I'll let people in the immediate neighborhood know. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Bye.